All right, so good morning, everybody, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. And today I wanted to talk about how to build a strong team culture. Because I think it all depends on this, especially in the restaurant world where we are, like I've been working into some places that were run by fear, like everybody was paralyzed. Every team member was so scared to make a mistake, that they weren't feeling valued, understood, respected. And obviously it was creating like a negative atmosphere in the restaurant. And obviously when you have negative thoughts, negative energies, you will communicate this to your guest. And it's experiences that I've felt into the past. I arrived to some restaurant where the previous management used to be absolutely off the charts, right? Always screaming, always pointing at, voicing up to people in the middle of the pre-shift, and obviously it was creating like a negative mindset where the staff didn't feel respected and understood by their management. And when I've been facing those kind of things for the first time, which never really came to my mind prior that, and those kind of events, it became very, very important for me to, to be like a, to be leading like a positive and fostering like a beautiful community and energies around the restaurant. And I think, especially in the new world, to tell you a bit more about myself, when I used to live in Asia, whatever was Singapore, Bali, or Hong Kong, I was managing people that were way older than me, right? Like, well, first of all, I was very young myself. I arrived to Asia and I was barely 22 years old, and I was managing people of 30, 35 to 40 years old, which it was very difficult, first of all, to earn the respect coming from a kid to some big adults, regardless of my skill set and my maturity. And then when I moved to the US, I ended up working with team members of 10 years less than me. And I had to reshape and re-identify my managemental aspects, and pedagogy that I was transmitting to my team members and to my teams, right? And, the thing that I realized, it's a lot about pedagogy and empowering the people all around you. I think it's about definitely leading by example because it starts from the top, right? It's like a triangle where all the energies that we're going to vehicle are going to start obviously from the leader in charge, right? So again, I think to arrive with a certain confidence, a certain positivity, a certain joy, right? Eager to take actions and to foster a vision where everybody can, be a part of, like that we want to set ourselves in one of the best restaurants in town, that we want to achieve this, that this is the standard that we're going. And most of all is about teaching and transmitting skills to people, because at the end of the day, it creates like a culture where people are getting paid to go to school. And I think this is the most priceless things. And more than technical skills about how to serve, how to clear, how to open a bottle of wine, I think it's all about values and principles about why are we doing this job at the first place? What is the service industry? How to apply this in any kind of restaurants, in any countries. And on top of that, I think the values and principles that we're learning as a team can go beyond hospitality world and can be applied in any kind of industries, because you first have to take care of yourself before taking care of others. We have to take care of each other as VIPs if we want to take care of real VIPs. And again, I think it's about constant feedbacks, whatever a team is doing good, the team is doing bad, highlighting our reviews, fostering like a beautiful communication, inviting people to participate and to run their own projects. It's like these things that I do every day on a daily basis where, I want people to own their choice. If you see something that can be improved, where we can work smarter instead of harder, steps of service that we can remove, things that we can add, in order to give and empower team members to leave their fingerprint, into the restaurant or into the business forever, and again, I think it's about being a good listener. When I started, for instance, working on Wormwood, it was very important for me to take a time to sit down and spend half an hour with every single team member, to really understand what's their background, where are they from, what dreams do they have, and what do they want to achieve in that kind of restaurant, So to me, it's really about understanding the past in order to predict the future. Like not everybody wants to grow, not everybody is ambitious. Some people are very much into their comfort zone. Some people want a little bit of boost. Some people are starving for feedbacks and really want to, to take everything from it. Some people, they just want to do their hours and go home. And that's pretty fine, as long as everybody understands that during the few hours that we're on service, we have to give it all, not for me, not for them, but for the guest. I think it's really about putting the guest into the center of the equation, because at the end of the day, ultimately, it's all our guests or our customers that's going to be paying for all our salaries, right? So I think by fostering those kind of very simple value, eating together, a family meal, like a family that eats together stays together. The fact that we can do a few things or outing outside during the days off, all this helps because it really helps building that personal connection more than the work related connections, where we're just giving orders to each other and following the hierarchy that has to be established. But it really helps to understand each other on a personal level and have those kind of feelings where we don't even need to speak to actually understand each other. It helps bringing trust between one another. Small things like doesn't even need to speak, just by eye contact. We feel, we sense each other, we anticipate each other's moves, right? And I think this is why, hospitality is such an art. And that's why I consider ourselves like artists, because it requires to be performing a show every single day over and over and over again, regardless if we're happy, sad, upset, tired, exhausted. The guests are still paying the same price in order to receive that level of experience that they're expecting to when they come in. So I think, it comes back to many, many values where, I tell my guys, to take care of each other and to take care of themselves like athletes, right? The way you sleep, the way you eat, the way you rest, the way you take care of your body, the way you take care of your mind, because it's obvious that we have to take care of ourselves if we want to be able to take care of others, right? And so these are all the principles that I try to apply every day on the daily life, to foster like a team, a proper team building, like our trainings every day. We're doing pre-shifts, and every day now we do specific kind of trainings that are not just about what we serve in terms of food, wine, cocktails. It's about teaching people how to think, right? So where is this from? Why do we do this like this? It's something that I always seen also as a team member myself, is like I could never understand or apply something that was told to me if I didn't understand the true why behind it. And if you were able to prove me that this was the right thing to do, and you were able to explain me why it was the right thing to do, then it was something that I could catch up and add to my tool set or skill set, forever. Because finally I understood that why it was the smartest, the strongest, the most impactful way of doing things. And obviously that the guest will come back with like an incredible feeling about it, and now that we have put all those things in place, whatever it's about training, coaching, mentoring, listening, creating that strong team culture, after that, it's definitely the responsibility of the leader, to lead by example at all times, to be the first in, the first out, the first one to put their hands dirty, to take actions, to take initiative, and to prove that, if the leader on charge can do absolutely everything, obviously there is no excuse for any team members to don't provide the same culture and the same instinct, because it's all about working our instinct, right? A couple of years in the past, like, I was scared because I didn't work for a year. I took a sabbatical. I needed to travel and to re-energize myself for a year. And I was so scared, that I stopped working at high level. And obviously it's like an athlete performing for the Olympic Games, right? If you don't practice your sport for 1 or 2 years, obviously your body is going to be weaker. You're going to have to go back on heavy training to get back to the level that you were at. And, obviously I was pretty scared that I wouldn't reach the level I used to perform before. And in fact, I was wrong, because instinct, the muscle memory that I've built over the years helped me jump back into the business like almost instantly. I just needed like one busy service where I couldn't even think because I didn't have all the element part to know what I was doing, but just my instinct carried me through and brought me back to this level of confidence where, listen, a restaurant is a restaurant. We're not doctors. We're not saving lives. We're just serving food and drinks. And the goal is how to make something so simple, so complex. And, this is where, it becomes from the tangible to the intangible part, because it's true, we are selling memories, we're selling experience, we're not just serving food and drinks. You know what I mean? It's like, it's really about taking care of people's feeling. It's all about this psychology aspect on how to make somebody feel important, how to play into that perspective, that perception of guests being taken care of being heard, of being understood, of being, really cared for. And I think, it's definitely not a science that you can apply from a day to another. It's continuous work, determination, grit, and envy and passion, mostly, to be able to achieve that kind of success and to inspire the people all around you to think the same way. It's all the same thing, right? There's definitely the difference between service and hospitality. Service is really black and white. You want a cup of coffee? I give you a cup of coffee. But hospitality is all more like a rainbow of color, where how am I going to make you feel by delivering this cup of coffee to you? Like it can be like a little extra cookie, a little thing that you didn't ask on the side, a little dessert that come with it, a beautiful smile, a joke. There is all those kind of components that come into the equation. Maybe before this delivering this coffee, I could tour this person around the restaurant and to show her our little secrets, right? Or like I could deliver like a little shot of espresso martini on the side that was left over from one of the bartenders, because I know that this lady likes coffee, and maybe I could surprise her with a little gift instead. Like there are so many different ways that we can create that sensation of love. And I think it's all about an energy exchange. It's like the boomerang effect. The more you do good, the more you will receive good. The more you give, the more you receive. It's always this kind of energy exchange that are happening, and it's about learning how to sharpen our karma, right? So do the right thing, go above and beyond, invest an extra 5 or 10 seconds, invest into that extra personal question that you're going to ask to your colleague or to your guest, because it means a lot to be cared for, and everybody wants to be cared for. Like hospitality, people feel that we're not rewarded enough, we're not paid enough. But in fact, we get so many different opportunities to fill ourselves with joy at the end of the day. Just by providing love, doing the right thing rather than the easy thing, it's so much more powerful. And this is what make our days so different. Like we're not into a routine. We never know what to expect on any given day. Yes, we're serving the same menus, but you never know who you're gonna face. You never know who you're gonna be able to blow people's mind. And even about complaint, if you have a difficult guest or a complaint that is happening, it's always a beautiful opportunity for us to recover it and make it even better. We cannot change the past, but we can predict the future. And if something went wrong, if something went bad, if we fucked up into something, obviously we cannot change what just happened, but we can put all our intentions, our mind, and our love, heart, and soul, to make sure at the end of the experience is going to be more outstanding than ever, and to make them recover. And I think this is also about owning, our mistakes. If we mess up, we mess up. And in French, we do have this proverb that says, "Faute avouée à moitié pardonnée." It's like when you admit that you made a failure, you're halfway forgotten already. So it's all about owning it up, and don't be fearful or scared about people's reactions, feedbacks. And, it happens. We're not robots, we're humans. There is like a human error, which is part of it. And by the way, I want to finish the video by saying that one part of my philosophy, at least in the restaurant, is that I want to encourage people to make mistakes. I want them to fail, because I've been through them all, and I've done a lot of mistakes in my career, but they brought me to where I'm at today. It's about, like this is a beautiful opportunity where I want people to embrace failure, because it's a beautiful skill to have. The only thing that I ask is make a mistake, learn from it, and move on to the next one. Just that's the only thing that I'm a bit picky about, is the fact that I want to make sure that whatever mistakes we do, we suck it up, we learn from it, and then we grow, we acknowledge, and then we move on to the next one. Do them all, I will get your back. That's part of the business, and that's part of the job, that's part of the growing culture, because it's so much more, there is so much more energy by taking somebody and to train him up, rather than having to fire him or lose a beautiful team member that is already loyal to you, taking the risk of finding somebody, starting the training from scratch. It's something that doesn't really make sense, and you want your people to feel that they are cared for, that they're protected, that you are teaching them, that you are straight with them. Like I do have conflict with some of my team members, and I rather have a proper conflict, being able to to tell them straight in the face what I think, what I like, what I don't like, instead of passing by and do those kind of disciplinary issues, record of conversations, and all those legal documents that at the end of the day are just maintaining people in fear. And this is not my way of dealing with people, with humans, or my management style. And I want people that, okay, that we are straight, and honest with each other. If they have something to tell me, if I did something wrong, if I can improve into any different ways, I want to learn from it. I want to know from it, because obviously it will make me a better professional, a better leader, and more impactful into the things. And when your guys are hearing that you are actually taking into consideration what they are telling you, you will also foster that trust between them to you. And that's something that you really want, because if we cannot trust each other, communicate openly, being able to tell you, Lucas, I just fucked up, that's my bad, and to be able to grow and to foster this, like, it's like a big brother, right? Big brother thing. I want these people to feel like they are protected by me, they're understood, they're listened, and they're being cared for, and that I want the best for their happiness and for their success too, because everybody wants to make it. It's a challenging industry where we all want some opportunities, we all want to have some plan Bs, right? And it comes through it. And this is also the path and the chance that I got when I started in hospitality, is because I was allowed to fail, I was allowed to express myself, I was allowed, to be shown the best way to do and how I could save sometimes. I could learn from my colleagues' mistakes in order to avoid me repeating them too. And this is what made me save a lot of time into my career and my journey. And I want to make sure that everybody all around me is aspiring to discover themselves even deeper and bigger, and to focus on the teams first. So here we are, guys. This is my little recap today about how to foster beautiful culture into the restaurant world, which I truly believe that can be applied anywhere else, in your family, personal, with your friends, with your communities. It's always about taking care of each other first, making sure that we let the group go first. Even sometimes we have to sacrifice ourselves, for the group's happiness and freedom. So here we are, guys. Thank you very much for watching. Continue to send me your feedbacks, your comments, your likes, share the post if you think that it was worth it. I see you on the next one, and I wish you guys a wonderful day, and keep shining, guys. The life is fucking beautiful. Take care.